becoming a proof that the sequel can be better than its predecessor. The story is packaged more neatly and character development is clearly visible in this sequel to A Quiet Place. Still presents a line of talented actors from the first part. There is no need to doubt the acting of this line of great casts, especially when they can present real acting with minimal dialogue. The film begins with a flashback to the first day where all the nightmares began. The audience was brought back to a normal atmosphere, the sound of laughter, and the chatter of children and adults were heard. Abbott's small family of Lee, Evelyn, and their 3 children are also shown again. Objects that made the audience feel traumatized in the first film also reappear at the beginning of the film. However, this flashback is actually a way for the production team to introduce Emmett, a new character who also plays an important role in A Quiet Place 2. Basically, the essence of A Quiet Place Part 2 is the same as the first, namely the effort to survive in the midst of the threat of monsters. This film also still shows the number of days since the monsters came to destroy their lives. The difference is that John Krasinski and the production team this time expanded the scope of the setting, the development of most of the characters, to the monsters themselves. So, this film feels so rich. The Abbott family and audience are shown the world outside of the home and residential complexes featured in the first film. In the middle or maybe after watching, the audience can also realize that the monsters in this sequel are smarter. This was confirmed by John Krasinski. He and his team deliberately make monsters evolve along with humans who begin to know their weaknesses. Thus, they felt the need to make the monsters truly a threat to the surviving humans. Evelyn, Reagan, and Marcus are also for the first time completely separated after losing Lee. Interestingly, John Krasinski, who also plays the role of the writer, gives them a tense portion, one by one, evenly, and just right. Each character also undergoes changes compared to the first. Some began to feel responsible for their families and dared to take steps. Some found new hope in the midst of difficult situations, but some started to feel tired after enduring all this time. The character development might feel a little emotional for the audience. One of the things that also makes this film very interesting is the scene where the audience can also feel what Reagan feels when she's separated from her hearing aid. The theater was completely silent. The sound of the air conditioner or the breath of other audiences was not heard at all during this scene. Just like the title of the film, theater becomes a quiet place. Things like that don't seem to be able to be felt optimally when watching at home, including to feel the jump scare scenes that are still often found in. Personally, this movie only leaves a few questions that feel unanswered after watching this film, one of which is the existence of a new group that is not explained further. However, this does not reduce the satisfaction of watching Krasinski's work. So, in general, this movie is the right choice to welcome the audience back to the cinema. Scoring and slick sound effects bring back the sensation and maximum viewing atmosphere when seen in the cinema. Not only that, it's not wrong that John Krasinski is now bolder in making the ending of A Quiet Place Part 2. He used to say he never intended to make A Quiet Place a franchise. Thus, the first film looks finished. However, now the space for the development of A Quiet Place Part 2 to Part 3 is very clear. So, how was it? Have you decided to watch it?